got one. I'm in the zone. It's nicer. Oh yeah, that's a good one. This is a fun jig fish. Whoa! This is very typical northern Wisconsin in these smaller lakes fish. Actually, probably 17 inches or so.
When Γκάρι Πάρσονς is in his walleye fishing zone, nobody does it better or smarter.
Yeah. Everyone that walleye fishes thinks you have to use real leeches or real minnows and stuff. This weed fishing with gulp tails like this is just so deadly. And you can work the jigs fast and they just whack them.
Γκάρι Πάρσονς knows. In the name of walleyes, Γκάρι has been at the top of the tournament world for decades, winning more Angler of the Year titles and parlaying his walleye savvy into television shows, a walleye website, and a walleye catching career unmatched in America.
You know, walleyes, I think, have always been my favorite. It was my father's favorite, it was my grandparents' favorite fish to fish for. Although Dad really musky fished a lot too, and I did in my early years. But there's something about walleyes.
On this day, Γκάρι and his son Chase are exploring a northern Wisconsin walleye hotspot for a little father-son fun time.
They're not biting as hard today. Just picking it up off the bottom. But sometimes they're northerns that smoke them. Them little guys moving in here.
Keep weeding them little ones out.
Yep. They're still fun to catch. Pretty good fish or what?
No.
No?
But it's the right kind. So those were the 24 inchers that you've been catching, huh?
No. I've moved deeper. I'm just kind of cruising around looking, see if there's any deeper fish. Like that one's a fish on the mud basin. But I'm not seeing a mother lode sitting anyplace, so.
For Γκάρι, the hunt is on.
There's a suspended fish. This point sticks way out. I've caught him on the point. Oops. Crappie or something. Rips, look at the fish here in 10 feet. Now, if Chase could only catch one, it would be fine. This is just a little Berkeley gulp 2.5-inch minnow. And an 1/8 ounce Bass Pro Shops XPS jig. Just basically hook it in and slide it right up to the head so it's pretty straight, it hangs straight. It's a very simple straight tail. You'd think that you have to have high action, but this flat bottom on the jig kind of makes it glide when you jerk it up and stuff, and it gives it a really erratic action when you're jigging. And I think that's what helps trigger the fish.
The walleye master has spoken.
Not real big. Pretty sure he's going to be wally though. Oh, he's a pretty nice one. Yeah. He's right up on top. Yeah, that's a pretty nice fish for. I'm gonna catch these.
Then, like father, like son.
There's one.
Hey, good guess, huh? Never caught a walleye here before.
A little sticker.
How shallow was that fish?
Oh, it was out pretty deep, actually.
Was it?
Yeah.
Good fish,
Right here
huh?
by the boat,
Oh,
right
wow.
by the boat. Yeah, it is. Right by the boat, like I was just bringing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice fish right there.
Yeah.
Right under the boat.
What, beginning of August, right up in 4 feet of water, huh?
Yeah.
You'd never think that, would you? But whenever there's weeds and rocks and a little bit of wind, you gotta look at those spots. In these dark tannic waters like we're fishing, I've seen it again and again where the fish, good fish, are up shallow, but nobody fishes for them. You know, they're so ingrained to think that all the fish, good fish, are out deep because it's warm in the summer.
But then legends like Γκάρι Πάρσονς think fish catching differently than the rest of us, and they have the walleyes to prove it.
And I can remember literally every tournament I ever fished and where I caught fish. And not only where I caught them, but where the guys who beat me caught them. And so when you start taking a library of knowledge like that onto the water with you every day, I think that makes you have a better chance of good decision making.
When walleye legend Γκάρι Πάρσονς isn't on the water, he's, well, going to the dogs.
They hunt pretty close to that fast, too. When it's hunting time, you should see him. It's unbelievable. He'll T-bone you whenever he gets a chance. Whenever you're not looking, you're going to get her. Rex. Rexy. Buddy. They love to fish. Absolutely love it. This guy, he can jump right over the side and get into the boat if he wants to. And if he thinks you're going to leave him home, he'll do that. They're brothers, and they constantly do that, those two. Hey, you two, that's enough. Both you guys, be good.
If the dogs are acting nuts, you could say the same thing about this fishing story.
Yeah, that actually came from my building.
Strange. Here we have Γκάρι Πάρσονς, a former dentist,
I still have my license.
who is teaching son Chase to catch walleyes.
It's kind of fun because we give each other crap all the time.
We fish against each other.
In the meantime, Γκάρι Πάρσονς ranks as one of the top walleye tournament anglers in the sport's history.
He's one of the most recognized walleye guys out there. When I was real young, you know, I'd have a lot of older people come up to me and say, oh, what's it like fishing with him and stuff? And I really didn't think too much of it, to tell you the truth. It was just like, well, he's just dad, and I go fishing all the time.
It's fitting that Γκάρι Πάρσονς, a walleye legend, also lives in northern Wisconsin's walleye lake country, not far from Lake Superior.
I would absolutely say the thing that makes him phenomenal is he can find fish better than anyone I know.
Everybody seems to know his name and that he's one of the big dogs, but I don't think everybody really knows how big and how much he's done. And when they see this, they're pretty blown away.
Gary's office is like a museum of walleye greatness.
Well, mostly what's on the walls are just his top 10 finishes. Any championship qualifiers, specialty things like Angler of the Years, Top Guns, special team awards, specialty accomplishments, things like that.
Oh, there's lots more. Magazine covers and the like.
Yeah, there's still more in the boxes. Top 11s and up, the ones that don't count. Takes him away from home a lot, but it's pretty amazing everything he's done.
But that's not all. When he's not reeling or riding, Γκάρι is an avid hunter.
Well, in the early 90s, and I believe it was like 93, 94, I won back-to-back Angler of the Years. I had some extra cash for the first time in my life, really. And I wanted to buy a piece of hunting property. 99, I believe, we moved up here, so almost 10 years now we've been living up here, and it's great. I mean, I can live pretty much wherever I want because of my occupation.
To get alfalfa coming in this strong is fairly rare.
In the meantime, Γκάρι plays farmer to attract wildlife to his country setting.
You can see after the rain and just all the turnips and rape are starting to pop through all over the place, if you look. I use mostly predator trail cameras. They're real easy to use. And it's been here 2 nights. I've got 42 photos just at this little patch, so that's a lot of deer photos for a field. This looks like a little bigger buck.
If a man can attract deer and walleyes, hey, life is good.
Every time I come home, it's like going on vacation, really. It's really cool.
Coming up, if we hang with a walleye master like Γκάρι Πάρσονς, will his fish-catching magic rub off? We'll find out as we explore more of his walleye mind